As we approach November 3rd, much is being made about the security of mail-in ballots. Call it absentee or vote by mail. The controversy is there, but there is little or no controversy in some states that do all of their voting by mail. KPRC Investigates reporter Mario Diaz went to Oregon to look at their system and what might Texas consider in the years to come.
Oregon is not Houston. It's not the land of Lincoln either. But in the coastal city that bears the 16th president's name, 2.2 miles from where he sits on horseback, is this box, symbolic of how established Oregon's all-mail voting system has become.
I think the system that we use in Oregon is about as bedrock solid as you can get.
Phil Kiesling is Oregon's former Secretary of State. In 1998, he helped make all votes by mail a reality. This after one unlikely opponent was against it.
There was fear that if more people got ballots and more people voted, that, oh, that was going to be bad for the Democrats.
In 2018, 3 states had all-mail voting. Fast forward to 2020. 7 more states are going all-mail, with 34 others, a mix of red and blue states, making mail-in ballots available to all voters. Texas is not one of them.
I loved it.
This was Houstonian Beeman Strong's reaction the first time he voted. The 47-year-old ended up in Portland after college.
Vote by mail it doesn't mean you have to vote for a Democrat or Republican. You vote for whoever you want.
A system where 2.8 million Oregon voters will receive a stamped ballot 20 days before the election. From there, picks are made and signed for. The ballot also must be turned in before the polls close on Election Day.
Hi, can I get a number 2 with a large Diet Coke? Officials have even been able to feed the appetite for convenience by placing ballot boxes at drive-thrus like this McDonald's in Portland.
Oregon's vote-by-mail system, the first of its kind in the nation, is viewed as the gold standard. Out of the millions who have voted in the last 20 years, only a handful have been prosecuted for election criminality.
Less than 100.
But what about Texas? Can a similar system get up and running quickly?
It's going to be hard.
Statewide mail ballots are not on tap for November, but Republican State Senator Paul Betancourt and State Representative Gene Wu, a Democrat, believe Texas voters will play a key role in future systems, including a hybrid model.
That's what I'd be voting for, and I think that's what the public would vote for. Give them the option.
If the public demands it, I guarantee you we'll do it the very next election cycle.
Bottom line for Oregon officials?
Really, everything that we're doing is centered on the voter.
And Mario Diaz joins me this morning. Mario, thank you for that insightful look into the Oregon system. A couple of takeaways for me. One of them was the low number of instances of fraud compared to what the concerns are leading into this election. Do you feel the same?
It was interesting to actually see that and hear that answer there from Steve Trout, the supervisor of elections for the state of Oregon. When you break down that number through all of their ballots, he indicated the stat was, I believe it's something like, this is his words, 0.00002 is the amount of percentage that we're looking at here in terms of fraud. They really have a system in place there to ensure that things like this cannot happen, meaning fraud.
One of the things came out, too, was that partisanship runs deep in our country now. In that area, there was partisanship deeply divided about how this system was going to work initially, correct? Correct.
And the roles, if you listened carefully there, were reversed. It was the Democrats who initially were against it and the Republicans who were for it. What's interesting, though, now is that if you look at some of the states, you have supervisor of elections who are Republicans, as is in the case right now in Oregon, Washington, and Utah, and the other states that are doing all mail for this cycle, they're Democratic in terms of that 10 in the stat that you saw there. This has support from everybody, including the lawmakers who you saw at the end of the piece. It may not happen before this November in Texas, but everyone views this as something that will eventually take place here in future cycles.
This whole process, as it does so, one of the challenges I think people were concerned about, Oregon's been doing it for a long time. States now are going to have additional mail-in ballots they haven't had before. I think you and I both know that it's going to take a while to get up to speed for any state that wants to do it as well as that Oregon is doing it now?
Listen, Canberra, no operation is perfect from the very beginning. Oregon is a smaller state in terms of size as well as population. However, they've been able to make it work by fixing those little issues that they've had in their system over the course of cycles. They've had, again, 20 years to get this right. But when I asked specifically to Steve Trout, the supervisor of elections there, because of technology that we have today, the ability to get things done much quicker, I asked him, hey, how long will this take to actually get this running perfectly? And he says it should take no more than 3 or 4 cycles. Perfectly, though, Canberra, also means in some ways eliminating some of those vulnerabilities. And one of those for people in Oregon is the harvesting of votes, meaning a third person to come and pick it up. I think that is going to be one of a third party person, I should say, or group picking them up. I think that's going to be one of the key issues for making this a full reality here in Texas.
Well, we're going to see what happens here. Mario, thank you for your deeper dive in this topic. I know we're going to be dealing with it for quite some time, and you've helped to give us some background on that. Thank
Anytime.
you, sir.